What's up, guys? Admiral Whisker Fisherman TV. Today I want to do something a little bit different. I just want to talk about net carry. If you're like me, when you hear net carry, you've kind of got a very specific image in your head. But I myself have found out in the past maybe year or so that there are almost infinite options, and that's something to keep in mind. I'm going to show you 4 or 5 options that I carry on a pretty regular basis, and then I'm going to show you a few options that I don't carry but would not be a bad option, and I've got 1 or 2 what I'd call extreme budget options in there as well. The main point of this video, guys, is net carry is infinite. It only needs to be a piece of gear that you wear around your neck. It can be anything that you're willing to carry. For me, it tends to be smaller backup pieces of gear. Not really a primary option, but a good little backup. But if you're willing to carry, a few pounds around your neck, there's limitless options to what you can go with. So let's just go ahead and jump in. So first up is going to be what I would consider the most common, or at least what I picture in my head. I guess that's what I should say. It's what I picture in my head when I hear net carry, and I don't think I'm alone in that. And that's a knife. This is a pretty typical model, really, guys. I know there are different ones. I guess you'd call it a Tanto style is pretty popular. This is just a little push dagger. These are pretty inexpensive. These run like $4 or $5. I bought a bunch of these at one point, primarily because I like the shape. Not so much as a knife, but as something to throw in a pack. I think it will lend itself really well to make a spear if I would need to. I'm probably never going to throw my good belt knife on the end of a stick and try and stab an animal with it, because I don't want to lose it. But that's what I always pictured. There's nothing wrong with that, but for me personally, it's never worked out. Every time I would try and carry a knife around my neck, number one, I would know I was carrying it, which is something I don't like for an EDC option. And if I'd wear it out in the woods, it would inevitably either start to chafe on me, or it would get caught up in a bush or something. And if I wore it to work, occasionally I've had times where it would, fall, or I would forget to tuck it in my shirt, and it's nothing illegal about it, but I just don't want to be a guy who has knives falling out of his shirt or banging around everywhere. It was just never convenient for me. If you like that option, I'd actually really like to hear your opinion on it, because again, for me, it has just never worked out. One thing that I do like about this little model is that it does have a belt clip, so I can throw it in a pocket, which is what, honestly, I typically do. But that's what we all think of, or at least what I always thought of. What I'd say borderline tactical more than an effective carry option. That's my opinion. If you like this way, again, I'd like to hear from you, because it has never worked out for me. I want to do that one first, because after this we're going to talk about some different options that I think are just a lot more convenient. I'm not necessarily saying that they're all more useful than a knife, but to me, they're just much easier to carry. And that's, again, something that I really look for, especially in an EDC option. So next up is one that, I guess technically it is a neck knife. The actual product name is a Molly Shiv, which is essentially a very small knife. This one I never sharpened because honestly, carrying it, I always thought it would be more useful as a small pry bar, and even as it sits, it works, or it would work pretty well, I think, as at least a one-time use pry bar. And at $3, I believe the last time I looked those up, I don't care that much if it, would break on me. And that's one of those things, guys, I just liked it. I still wear it. I just liked that little item. To make it a little more effective, or at least give me some other option, I threw a small ferrocerium rod on there. Again, I buy these by the dozen, or I bought a dozen of them a while ago, and I've got them squirreled away in packs and all kinds of places. I wear one in my bootlace. It's a ferrocerium rod. I'd rather have a lighter, but it is an option that's there, and I can get a lot of fires off of that. The flaw with this option is that this steel does not throw a spark worth a damn. Neither does the GI can opener that I keep on there, which even by itself I think wouldn't be a bad little option as a neck carry. It's one of those things that people forget about. We're all so used to just being able to pull a tab back and open our cans now that quite frequently people grab a can of tuna or something and forget their can opener. And that's just a good little lightweight item to throw on there. And this is actually was my EDC, neck carry option until very, very recently. It worked out really well for me. It was small enough that I never really knew that I had it. If on the off chance somebody would see it, they didn't think, oh my god, what is this guy into? It just looked like a cool little item. Again, $2 or $3. If you wanted to sharpen that, you would have a good little last ditch self-defense item, if that's something you're looking for. For me, it's really not, but I got that in the shit hit the fan box. I liked it, and I started wearing it every day. And from there I added the can opener and the ferrocerium rod, and so far it has served me pretty well. So I don't have any complaints about that. If you're looking for a neck knife, but you don't want the big bulky one, and you don't want to spend a lot of money on a hand-forged micro knife, which I do see, or, carry a razor blade around, I think that is a good option, guys. For $2 or $3, you could certainly do worse. This is what I'm currently using as my neck carry, and I am really happy with this. Again, you can give or take any of these items, mix them together any way you want to. With this particular setup, that's a Streamlight, Nano Light, and a Smith & Wesson handcuff key. I'll be realistic with you guys. The odds I'm going to need a handcuff key are very low. I'm not in law enforcement, I'm not in security, and I'm not a criminal. But then again, you never know. You could wake up strapped to a strange bed, any Saturday morning, right? That's something, again, guys. It's something I bought for about $5. I just wanted a handcuff key. I think everybody should probably have one somewhere. I don't think that you really need to carry it every day necessarily, but then again, if you need one, you're going to need it right now. This Nano light, I could only find them in a 2-pack on Amazon. They were $14, $15. For a light that size, this is pretty great. I was really impressed with this. It seems really well made, to me anyway. And I always have a backup flashlight and a handcuff key, which everybody has a pocket knife, everybody has a flashlight, but not everybody has a handcuff key, so I thought that was a neat little option to go with. I'm not telling you to go with that. You can make your mind up on that. But the Nano light, whether you wear it around your neck, put it on a keychain, that's a pretty great little item. And I found keeping that around my neck, if I step outside, you know, I work nights, so frequently I'm walking in the house and I leave my EDC light in my car or something, I've always got one around my neck. I'm out fishing, my headlamp falls off, whatever. Having that little light around my neck is great, and even just letting it dangle, it actually does put off enough light for me to see where I'm walking. Something I found while shooting this video is that my favorite neck carry option is a flashlight. Everything else I'm going to show, some of them incorporate a flashlight, some of them don't, but that has rapidly became my favorite neck carry option. So if you're looking to get into this, or you already, you know, use a neck carry, even if it is a knife, I would throw that on there. It's not really going to add much weight, and again, it is a great little option. This is something that I kind of put together over time. I didn't start out with the intention of putting these items together, but I'm really happy with it. I carry this at least every day that I work, and honestly, usually every day. My watch broke. I needed some place to put it. I had a lanyard, and I had a flashlight that was already on that lanyard, and I needed a place to keep my work key. I wanted that separate from my car keys, so I didn't have to take my car keys into work with me. And this has worked out really well. If you have a wristwatch, the watch is a moot point. If you don't need a key to get in and out of work, that might be a moot point. This little light was a Christmas gift. Sorry about that. This little light was a third time's a charm, was a Christmas gift. I'm a really big fan of it. It's not a crazy amount of light. I'd say it's on par with that little Nano Mini, maybe a little bit better. What I really like about it is that it runs on one single AAA. I keep one held on there with electric tape, so if that one would die, I have an extra one. But the great thing about those standard AAA, AA batteries is that I can go into any gas station, any pharmacy, any Walmart, and buy an extra battery, and it will be easy. Which sometimes with these little, you know, the watch batteries, whatever you want to call them, hearing aid batteries, and even those non-standard EDC batteries that a lot of flashlights run on, or a lot of EDC lights run on, I don't like, just because I don't like having to scour a store for batteries. I suppose once you buy them once, you know where to get them, but I'm not a fan of having to do that. I've been really happy with this. Again, it's borderline neck carry. I say that because I don't typically carry it in my neck. I carry it in my hand. But there are times I do throw it around my neck when my hands are full, and it is a great little option. Basically though, when you get right down to the nitty gritty, it's a flashlight on a piece of string. Again, I said earlier, I'm finding myself to be a huge fan of a flashlight for neck carry rather than a knife or any of the other tools I'm probably going to show you. I use them on a daily basis. With this option, you're going with a standard battery. I think that's great. If you are looking for something that you can just go to the store and buy and kind of get started in neck carry, I would say go with that before you go with a knife, before you go with a handcuff key, before you go with any of this other stuff. A small flashlight that runs on a standard battery. So this little setup was actually the inspiration for this video. When I bought my other nano light, I had to buy a 2-pack. They came individually packaged and everything, so I was really tempted to just leave it sit. But as I was sitting on the bank there a few days ago, one thing I thought about is I am constantly reaching for my pocket knife to cut my fishing line. Not because I don't have a pair of scissors, but because I'm constantly forgetting to grab that out of my tackle box. My tackle box is not really super compartmentalized or anything. I had a pair of very small collapsible scissors that would have been absolutely perfect for this. I looked for them, I couldn't find them. But I think to throw in a tackle box, this will be okay. You know, I'm going to wear it outside of my clothing, so this shouldn't be digging into me too bad. If I have to get up and walk, I'll probably just throw the whole thing in my tackle box or in my bag. This is a really, really, really specific setup, which I would encourage you to think about. What item are you constantly grabbing for? And then you have to rummage through that it's not necessarily a do or die item, but it's a convenience item that you're constantly reaching for. That's where net carry, I think, really excels. For me anyway. Again, I'm probably just going to buy a pair of collapsible scissors again because I can't find mine, and that will make this considerably smaller, but for now that should serve me just fine. And by throwing the nano light on there, I've also always got a flashlight around my neck when my headlamp falls off and I'm again tying a leader, even fighting a fish. That has happened to me a few times. I'll always have a light. Those are small enough I can hold it in my teeth without it being too terrible, but even just letting it hang, it will at least help me keep my footing. Again, this is a really specific one. This might be completely out of your wheelhouse and there's no reason for you to have this. I understand that, but this should get you thinking, which is kind of the point of this whole video to begin with. Alright guys, so this is my monoscope. I will be completely honest with you. I do not ever wear this around my neck. I don't use a monoscope when I'm hunting. When I'm hiking, maybe I could see me putting it around my neck, but most of the time we have a pretty decent bald eagle population in some of the places I fish, and I like to watch the eagles. So I keep it in my pack. However, when they are around, I will throw it around my neck just while I'm sitting there. Again, I wouldn't want this for an EDC option. It's just too big and bulky for me. Maybe you disagree. But I think that it is one of those items that lends itself really well, because realistically, when you want to look at something far away, you either don't have time, you don't want to make the noise. It's nice to just have something that you can reach up and grab. just another option. It's just one of the things that I own that kind of associates itself with neck carry, so I figured I would throw it in this video. If I was in a situation where I might actually have to really be aware of my surroundings, I probably will be glad that I kept this little lanyard on there. So in the course of making this video, guys, again, I said earlier the options are almost limitless. I found myself kind of thinking about different things I could just throw around my neck that would be convenient or nice to have, or somebody else might like to carry. I don't carry any of these items around my neck. Some of them I carry every day. Some of them I never really carry. But it's just a few more options. These aluminum caches. That one's a little big, but at that size, you could fit an entire micro survival kit in there. I don't really know why you would need that around your neck and not in your pocket, but then again, you would always have a micro survival kit, and you could have room in your pocket for something else. If you went with a smaller one, one of the things that popped in my mind was medication. Now personally, my medication that I need to carry ain't going to fit in that. But if you're somebody who's taking pills, I could understand that. That I think would be a great option, to just carry a day's worth of your medication around your neck. Again, I don't really know why you would need it around your neck and not in your pocket, but you would always have it. You know, we've all forgotten to pack something when we went away. We've all gone to a friend's house thinking it was going to be, you know, a little 3-hour drink a couple beers type thing, and it turns out to be an all-nighter. But particularly with, you know, those little caches, you can put anything that you want in there. It's just an option. This is a pop top. We all remember Cool Hand Luke, right? Always carried the pop top. Anymore, you don't really need those very often, but this one in particular was a gift, and it's pretty. I mean, I carry it in my pocket. I wouldn't flash it around too much. If you're a lady, you know, that might be a pretty little chain to carry around, and it would give you a little functionality. Permanent match. This particular model I don't think I would go with. I would rather have a round one. These corners are really very sharp. I could really see where that would dig into you. But if you're one of those guys who's constantly asking for a lighter, I'm not talking about a lighter to start a fire. I'm talking about a lighter to light your cigarette. I could see where that could be a really useful little addition to your EDC. Again, I keep most of these items in my EDC pouch, my little EDC bag, so I'm not really considering carrying them around my neck, with the lone exception of the whistle, which I think I am actually going to put a piece of bank line or something around that, because the odds that I'm ever going to need that are pretty low. However, I will say that if I do need that, I'm going to want that around my neck all the time. I'm going to want that someplace I can get to it right now, right then, with the least amount of energy. You know, this option, there's a little cache in there where you could put a match, a couple matches, I guess, but it has a paper in there with your emergency contact information. Again, kind of goes along with the handcuff key. I'm probably never going to need it, but boy, if I have it and I need it, I'm going to be so glad I have it that it's almost worth carrying. Just another option. Paracord bracelet. Now obviously that's a bracelet. I wear that around one of the loops in my jeans. I don't use it for neck carry, obviously. But if you have a paracord bracelet that you have strung out and use the paracord, or if you want to, you can even just buy, these little pieces here, and you want to wear that around your neck. I could see where that could be a great little thing to have. You'd have a ferrocerium rod, a compass, and a whistle all the time. You lose the cordage, but I can also see a lot of people don't want something big on their wrist. I don't. That's why I carry it on my jean loop. Again, it's just another option. A big part of the reason I'm making this video is just to open a conversation up. I'd love to hear ideas. And hopefully I'm giving you guys a couple of ideas as well. This is going to be the last couple of options I show you guys. I'm going to start right now and say that I would not really recommend either one of these options. I would not say that either one of these options are super effective even at what they're supposed to do. They lack a lot in reliability and a lot in durability, but okay, I always at least try to show you something that you can either do for free or next to nothing. If you're sitting at home right now and you ain't got 2 cents to rub together and you're watching this video and thinking, well, a neck carrier don't seem like a bad idea, but I can't go out and spend $15 on a nano light or $10 on a monoscope or $5 on a whistle, whatever. I've been there. Usually I would come up with something on the fly, and that's all that this is. I woke up today, I was going to make this video. I thought, what could somebody put together for free? Now obviously you can go rummage through your drawers and find a short screwdriver or a kitchen knife or something, and I honestly am not going to say that these options are that much better, but this is what I came up with just on the fly. This is a pack of convenience store matches. These are free, so all you need is a pack of convenience store matches, a piece of string, a little bit of aluminum foil and duct tape to wrap these up in, and you will have fire around your neck. Again, it's not going to be a great option. I always keep a pack of those around because they're free and they do work. I would encourage you to go out and buy a $1 Bic lighter and throw it in your pocket, or even a 50-cent, what me and my buddies always called crack lighters growing up, and throw that in your pocket. But this is an option. You can go do it right now. You pause this video. It'll take you 5 minutes. Like I said, just wrap those up in some foil and some duct tape. It's not going to be completely waterproof. It will be reasonably water resistant, and you'll wake up tomorrow and you will be a little bit better off for it. This is a $1 headlamp from Walmart. This one's actually broken. The only reason I still have this is I'm pretty sure these batteries are still good, and I have a couple of these small headlamps kind of floating around in different places. Again, it's not waterproof, it's not super durable, it doesn't have a super long lifespan on those batteries or anything. But you can go to Walmart if you're going anyway and spend $1 and find a piece of string, and you'll have a light, everywhere you go. Again, not great options, guys. I'm not pretending they are. All I'm saying is that if you use your noodle a little bit and you're on a really extreme budget, you'll find something, if you want to start using neck carry, that you can throw around your neck. All that it needs to be is reasonably lightweight, in my opinion. If you can carry 10 pounds worth of stuff around your neck, go for it. And it needs to be useful. That's all it needs to be. Preferably something that you find yourself forgetting a lot. I think that definitely helps, because wearing it around your neck, you're not going to forget it. But you know, anything you want to you know, you can fit a piece of string through and throw it around your neck. You know, the options are limitless. Alright guys, so that's going to be our video for today. Thank you for watching. I appreciate every single view, guys. I really do. Like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. This is a topic I'd really like to hear your opinions on. Again, I really do appreciate every view, guys. This channel has been basically dead for a few months, so I'm trying to put some content out there. And right now, if you watch this video, guys, I really do appreciate it, because I will see it. That's the difference between 1 view and 10 views right now. Thanks again. I will see you next time.